This call is being recorded. If you do not wish to be recorded, please disconnect at this time.
Good day. I am the voice of We Provoke Thought. We Provoke Thought is an organization and show that is looking to be the platform for all those who have an opinion, idea, or educated information to share to the world, an outlet to voice your feelings and facts. Now, today's guest, we have a young lady on the line, and we're dealing with different topics and subjects today. We all know that what has gone on in D.C. Plagues America all around, and it hits us at home. It makes us wonder about what's going on with the world today, and where do we look for a resolution? A lot of times we find that family is the first place to look, along with faith, and helping us build a stronger community. So today's topic is dealing with family, along with the emasculation of men. We want to find out just where do we find the strength in rebuilding our communities with the men as the head of the household, or what was once the head of the household, in dealing with strengthening a family, and also the emasculation of men. How we have found that this is plaguing all of our men around the world, as well as within the country itself. Now, when we begin, we will begin with you having full knowledge that the call is being recorded, that you agreed to continue with the recorded call, and that you agreed for We Provoke Thought to publish this call without releasing your identity, phone number, name, or any information leading to you on our YouTube channel under We Provoke Thought and our Facebook fan page under We Provoke Thought. Now, again, I'd like to thank you, ma'am, for joining us today on We Provoke Thought. And for that, we do not apologize. I'd like to say hello. How are you doing, ma'am?
Doing very well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Now, just so that I can give the listeners an idea of the demographics in which we reach, may I ask, what city and state are you in?
A small town in Texas.
All right, Texas. I don't know, a small town in Texas, from what I understand, Texas is quite big, but a small town in Texas, we'll take that. Now, today, the topics are about the emasculation of men as well as the fall of family. And you said that that was a topic that quite interests you. Is that correct?
It does indeed.
All right. So let's start off. What do you feel the state of family and men are?
I think quite sadly the family, especially the family in the United States and Christian families, have fallen by the wayside, and that it's a characteristic of the fall of civilizations from Greece and Rome to the present day. The destruction of the family is the destruction of the civilization.
Indeed, indeed. So here's a question. Where are the protectors of the house then?
Well, appointed by God, he first of all, and then the husband and wife, and that is part of the sadness. We have so many fatherless households in our country today, and many men have not been shown the beauty, the responsibility, the courage, the opportunity to be fathers. We have a whole generation of young men who have no father themselves.
Indeed, indeed, and that is plaguing a lot of folks around this country. Now, my question would also follow from that is, why are many homes without fathers? Do you have an idea on why are there many homes without the fathers?
I think, of course, there are many, many causative factors. Primarily that a whole generation has not seen a father, for an example. But then you go back, then why didn't they? When I worked in public health, I visited many single mom households in which, as public health nurse, I arrived at the front door, the man of the house ran out the back, because if he were there, he would be required to be responsible in ways he was not prepared to be, and welfare checks would be lost.
All right. Now that I'm glad that you raised that. So how does a woman compensate for this then?
Well, of course, it's highly individual, and many compensate in many ways. Some with many men, one after another. Some are able to rise to the occasion and become providers themselves. Others are able to seek support and fellowship in a church group or a group of faith. I believe more and more churches are beginning to realize the church's responsibility to single moms and the parenting of the children.
And I can see that as well. I can see that. So then, what role or part does the woman play in the man being absent? And here's the second part of that question. How can we strengthen the family structure?
Well, of course, women have played a role of influence from the beginning. Not always for the good. Not always for the good. Hopefully for the good. And many women gain their motivation to be selfless and hardworking and loving and caring when they become mothers. They have a new love for the children. But I think women need to be aware of the significance of their influence, in both for their individual men and for the society as well as the children.
All right, and so with your experience, you have, like you said, you have seen the degradation or the destruction of family. The welfare has a lot to do with it, along with, and we can talk also about the societal play of the emasculation of men, where we find that more and more men are becoming feminized or emasculated in one way or another. So with that being said, how can we strengthen the family structure? And because we have already dealt with what are the consequences, or have we dealt with what are the consequences of the absent father as well?
Well, I think part of the problem is the very definition of family itself. I'm a retired family nurse practitioner, and the definition of family has changed over the years. And it has come to have in our public schools and in other places the definition of two or more people living together for their mutual benefit. Well, that covers the Manson gang or any other gang of people who band together to benefit one another. And that is not a godly scriptural definition of family, nor is it one that works.
Right. So I guess the obvious question would be, well, we already dealt with the what are the benefits or who benefits from it. So where do we look? Where do we start? Like, if you had a silver bullet, what would be your first attack on resolving this issue with family or the destruction of family?
Well, I'm greatly blessed in that the whole series that my church is dealing with at this point is being fit to fight for your family. And it starts with helping people make wise choices in marriage. We don't choose our birth family, but we do choose our spouses. So wise choices there. People can learn to make wise choices. And then once having married, how to be the right person for your family and to fulfill the roles in family, to strengthen first our own family and then the families in the community.
Right. Because it does. The community has a strong impact on family as well, or vice versa.
Yes.
So I believe we both can agree with that, and we also can agree just from what you were saying, that I guess in some way we can say that the church is accountable for the societal issues and the community issues, and helping and strengthening their community, because faith is very, very, very important in dealing with family or any issue for that matter. Would you agree?
I do. I think we're on the same page.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Well, I want to thank you for allowing us to be the platform for you to voice your thoughts on just that, the emasculation of men and the fall of family. I also like to always give the caller the last word. And with this, I now am switching it up where I ask a question. And that question, or more or less a statement, is, if I had the power, and I'm going to leave that with you saying, if I had the power, you would what?
Turn the
Hello,
families back to God. I would turn the families back to God.
All right. All right. And I'm going to leave with that, just that. And that is very important. I'm glad that you pointed a lot of the important issues on what is plaguing us today. I want to thank you, ma'am, for joining us on We Provoke Thought. And I also like to thank the listeners for joining us as well on We Provoke Thought. For We Provoke Thought, and for that, we do not apologize. I'm going to say goodbye to you on the end. And for those that are listening, you can find this on our YouTube channel under We Provoke Thought, as well as our Facebook fan page under We Provoke Thought. Again, I'd like to thank you for joining us.
This call has been recorded.